Hey Tribe, welcome to Sunday Coffee Talk, my favorite time. Today I thought I'll talk to you while I make my coffee. I just put some hot water in here and get the glass nice and hot. Today I'm making easy coffee, just make it instant. It's probably not the healthiest, but it's a little bit easier this morning. But I thought I'd share some stuff with you while I make my coffee before we sit down. Since this is a Thai style house, like the stove over here, this is all gas, so they kind of do it more old fashioned. So you have to turn everything on, make sure you turn everything off. A few weeks ago, I broke the actual. I'll show you what I broke actually. I broke the kettle. Well, probably because this thing is ancient. But this bad boy fried. I stuck it in and it basically blew the fuses just because it's too old. But this is kind of pretty popular in Thailand. I mean, you're seeing in condos, Thai houses, stuff like that to kind of make hot water, tea, coffee. But they use this all the time. Then while the water's going, we will get things rocking. This won't take so long. But remember, for Sunday Coffee Talk rule here, while I'm making my coffee, is we're always featuring the Super Thanks Spotlight. Eventually, as the channel grows, builds momentum, Sunday Coffee Talk will be all about Super Thanks Spotlight, and that's where you leave a super thanks, leave a question, something you want to know more about, dig deep in, maybe even something you're struggling about or struggling with, and that's what we discuss and talk about on Sundays. Then I will also kind of fill in how my week's going. This week, actually, a lot happened, so I have a lot to share. So I got my coffee ready, just waiting for the water. But while we're waiting for the water, I'll share with you kind of the first point I wanted to talk about here. One, we rebranded my channel with Live Life on the Terms, Live Life on Your Terms. So the biggest thing here, and you'll notice me saying this in the videos, you'll notice me saying it in the beginning of the videos. Sometimes I go more in depth, sometimes I don't, because I don't want to get off on tangents. But really, you have to get used to saying this stuff to yourself. This isn't about, Chad, you sound like you have a big ego. Chad, you sound like an a-hole. No, if you're thinking that way, you're totally missing the point. Bottom line, okay, when I sit here and say, I live life on my terms, baby. I live life unapologetically on my terms. I live life authentically. I have frame, I have standards, I have boundaries around my life. Okay, you should say the same thing. No matter if I say I live life on my terms, you live life on your terms as well. If I say I live life unapologetically on my terms, you live life unapologetically on your terms as well. You live life authentically as well. You have framed standards and boundaries around your life as well. You need to say this stuff, and we will dive deeper and deeper into this. Not today, but we will. You need to say this stuff out loud and to yourself. Even if you say yourself in private, nobody knows you talk to yourself like this. It's so important you have to talk to yourself like this because it builds your confidence. And really what it does, yes, it builds your confidence, but really what it does, it helps your subconscious mind. You're pretty much training your subconscious mind that you don't put up with BS. Okay, that you hold to what you say. And when you really switch your subconscious mind, when you really tell your subconscious mind learns that Chad always does what he says, Chad always upholds his commitments. You know, this is aligned with manifesting. This is aligned with how your life's going to go. This is aligned with your identity and a law of belief. This is what you have to understand. You have to get in the habit of saying this stuff. That's just bottom line, because you're trying to shift your identity to a better identity. You're trying to go to a more successful version of yourself, but you can't do it just by not putting in the work. You can't do it without saying things, okay, to yourself. Okay, even though you think it's woo-woo stuff or you sound crazy, but a lot of this stuff does sound a little bit crazy when you sit there and say, I can call the unseen to the seen. I can have whatever I want. You have to ignore your reality around you and call things into existence. And this is one way we do it. But the biggest thing is we're really kind of training our subconscious mind that I uphold what I say. I uphold my commitments. You know, if someone crosses my a boundary, I say it. I just don't let it happen over and over and over and over and over again. And all this is congruent with what's going on in your manifesting world. You know, you want to be, it's making yourself more clear and direct. I mean, what's manifesting 101 here? Okay, what's the first really thing? Okay, it's you knowing exactly what you want. You knowing exactly to the T what you want. But when you don't live your life that way, well, you know, that's really in line with kind of what you're getting. I mean, hopefully that makes sense. Like in manifesting, the whole point of you knowing exactly what you want, but in your regular life, you have no clue what you want. You let everybody cross your boundaries. You let everybody, you have no standards or boundaries. You don't even know what they are. When I start talking about standards or boundaries, you're confused, you know, and you know, that's a good starting point because you're aware of it, but you got to start setting frame standards or boundaries. You got to start knowing that I can live life on my terms. I can live life unapologetically on my terms. All this works congruent together. It's not separate entities. Everything works in congruency. Okay, now let's get my water going for my coffee. Put that over here. Just don't want the steam to come up on the phone. Turn this off. Make sure the gas is off, because I don't want to blow up the house. That wouldn't be a good thing. Okay. So here right now, make coffee the old-fashioned way. Now I have other things. I have like one of those, what do they call it? It's like an Italian, where you make Italian coffee. I forget what they call it right now. I was making coffee when I lived in a condo. I was making coffee that way. But here, the burners, the gas burners are just too big for it. I tried it, but it started to melt the handle. But coffee talk now. Now you can see the steam coming out of there. Now it's hot. Okay, but now, lo and behold, let's sit down, have some discussions what we're going to talk about today, and let's have some fun. Okay, tribe, we are back here. Just want to sit down. We're sitting in the kitchen today. It is what is today? What is it's April 5th, something like that. I might be off. April's going to be, it's going to start hitting a busy time here in Thailand, at least for the next couple weeks, just because it's coming into the Thai New Year. This is their New Year. It's called Sagrant. It's the great big water festival. If you look it up on Google, you'll find it, like the water festival in Thailand in April. This is their actual Thai New Year. So this is like way more important. They do celebrate like our New Year, like Christmas and our New Year. They do celebrate the New Year, that New Year, but usually maybe they get off, depending upon how it falls. I mean, sometimes they might get off like 3, 4, or 5 days for it, as far as like a local if they're working. But the Thai New Year is way more bigger. I mean, usually they'll get off at least a week. A lot of family, if they live elsewhere, they'll come home for a month. I mean, sometimes family might live in a nearby country and they'll come home for the whole month of April. Even Ang right now, her brother just got here this morning. Her sister and brother-in-law and nephews coming. I believe they're coming. They're trying to come on April 10th. So it's going to get a little bit more busy here. So we're kind of see how we handle stuff. I'll still do the Sunday coffee talks. Might just be more people walking around. if it gets around that holiday time, maybe I'll share that stuff with you. I try to do that because my channel isn't really branded like that, like a vlog channel. I do videos like that sometimes because I want to share my life a little bit, but I mean, I'm not great at sharing stuff like that, but because my videos are not like that, but I'll try to kind of include you guys kind of what's going on and not be kind of shy about it. But anyway, I do have two examples I really want to share with you. One was mine, and the other one was Ang's. So my example has to do with how do you really handle negativity and release negativity. But then we'll go into Ang's example, and they were both kind of really good. These could be separate entities. I've talked about them before. But really listen up. There's really a good point in both of them, and that's why I really want to share with you. Now, with my example, what I mean by how to release negative energy is lots of times we have negative things happen to us. And this is what I mean. Lots of times we have negative things happen to us and they bottle inside us. And yes, we talk about let the dead bury the dead, let the past be the past, let things go. Yes, we have to do that. But lots of times we're still human. We still just hang on to things. And what we have to understand, when we hang on to things, either we truly just don't let it go, or we truly don't forgive the situation. It anchors us either to that problem or to that person. It actually lowers our vibration. And talking about this, I will post a video in the description about forgiving. I won't go into that, but I'll write that down so I can put it in the description for you to check that out. An excellent video I did on forgiving, why we need to forgive, but I won't go through that right now. That's not really the point. But what really happened to me, what I find with how to release something is I made a video. This just happened yesterday. I made a video on, and it hasn't posted yet. I'm thinking about posting it on this coming Wednesday, sometime this week, either the Wednesday slot or maybe even next Saturday. I did a video on why I left my condo in La Casita. And I've always wanted to share the experience. I was kind of going back and forth. And usually how I do videos is they're not scripted. I just sit down and talk when I'm in the mood. But it's something, it was really a negative experience. I ended up breaking my lease, and I got back my security deposits and all that jazz. But it still just harbored in me a little bit. I still wasn't really releasing it. Even when I was here for the last couple months in Surin, I wasn't releasing that energy, releasing that negative energy, or kind of like getting over it. I let the dead bury the dead. Then at the same time, I was struggling with, well, I wanted to make a video on it, but I wasn't too sure if I want to make a video on that context, because it has such a negative context to it of as far as like what happened and why I left. So I was kind of going back and forth, but since I was going back and forth with it, it just stayed in me, because that's how I do a video. Like when I do a video, I tend to kind of not so much overthink and overanalyze, but I think about it. I think about what I want to say, what I want to talk about. And it's kind of like scripted in my head. It's not scripted on paper or scripted on my computer. It's scripted in my head because I thought about it so much. But anyway, something weird happened. I finally decided I'm going to sit down and do this video. And, the video is about 40 minutes. And it's kind of a story form video. That way it's not just 20 minutes of negativity. I kind of break it up a little bit. But the amazing thing happened when I went and did the video, and I came back, uploaded it on the computer, I edited it, did some soft editing to it. But what I found was once I edited it, like I went outside, I was walking up to the little market here to buy a drink. It was crazy hot here. And right now it's hot season. And all of a sudden I just felt this pressure just release from me. Like it was like, there was no more me thinking about La Casita. There was no more thinking about why I left La Casita. There was no more hanging on to it. Like even when I woke up this morning, I felt flipping free from it. It just it just flipping left me. I mean, and I know most of us have had moments like this where you just, It just felt like a big weight just lift off you. And that's what I want to talk about for a couple minutes here is how to do that. Everybody's different a little bit when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to living life on your terms. Okay. And it's not that it applies to you differently. The laws of the universe are the laws of the universe. The laws of the universe aren't going to change for you. Bottom line, this is what you have to understand. Okay, the laws of the universe are exact. They're exact laws. You can't manipulate these laws. You can't change these laws to work for you. Okay, you have to understand this. But where the big but is all of us have our own issues and problems. All of us had our own junk happen to us. Some of it's similar, some of it's not. And that's what's different is we all have our own little personal junk and how to deal with it. Certain things, certain exercises will work different for us depending upon our level of belief. Okay, but what I found was what was working for me is since I'm so used to doing videos now, like videos for me, especially if something kind of negative happened to me and I did a video on it to be transparent, videos for me, like nowadays, are kind of working as a release. It's just me kind of talking about it out loud. And once I talk about it out loud, it just releases and goes away. I mean, really, honestly, it just releases and goes away. And I wanted to share that with you because what are you doing to release your own built up negative energy you have? What are you doing to release? You have something, you have a friend take advantage of you and you're still harboring that. What are you doing to finally release it? And it really releases 100% where you don't think about it ever again and you let the dead bury the dead. What are you doing to release it? Like, I want you to think about this. You might be thinking, well, Chad, that's a great question. Okay, you might know exactly, you might be already a step ahead and you might know exactly what you do to release things. Okay, like for me, it's ending up being a video thing. But for some of you, for example, some of you might really be into writing, where you end up writing it down and you're very descriptive. This is what we do. Be very descriptive. Get out your emotions and be very, very descriptive. But after you're done writing, you have to do the next step. The next step is you got to take this paper you wrote on, maybe it's 2 sheets, 3 sheets, rip it, tear it up like this, and throw it in the garbage. You have to kind of do this end result. You have to kind of go that step forward because it's really telling yourself that, I went through this, now it's time to let this go. And you have to do this almost like this symbolism a little bit where I'm crumbling up and I'm throwing it in a trash can. And maybe you live out in the country, maybe you burn your trash, you throw it in a trash can, you throw it in the trash, you go outside and burn it. You know what I mean? We're having some fun with this, but it's so true. What are you doing to release stuff? Because you have to release it. If you don't release it, you're going to hang on to it and harbor it. And like I said, when you hang on to things, it's connecting you to that negative source. Now that could be a source, just negative energy. It could be another person. And it's actually lowering your consciousness. It's lowering your vibration. And when it lowers your vibration, what you want is at a higher vibration. But you're stuck down here in Negativeville. You're stuck down here not releasing this negative energy. Once you release it and finally release it, it's going to shoot you up to a higher vibration. It's going to shoot you up closer to what you want. That's what I want to talk about. And that's what happened to me yesterday. It's kind of a new experience, but I just wanted to share that with you. So in the comments below, let me know what you do, because this might give me ideas too, so I can adapt to my life as well. Right now, it's videos. It seems like videos are working well for me because I tend to share things. But what do you do? Is it writing? Is it maybe you sit down, you talk to one of your best friends, or maybe it's a parent or a sibling that you really confide into. But be careful. Now, the thing is, if you have something like that going on, let me take a sip of coffee. If you're really confiding in somebody else, you have to make sure that it releases it. You're not just gossiping. You're not just, you share it with this person. Now, next week, you share it with this person. A month later, you share it with this person. 2 months later, you're still talking about it. You have to, this is the dangerous road you go down, because this is, if you're doing that, you're really not releasing it. You're still harboring it. It's still inside you. So you have to do something that it really just releases it and goes away. But bottom line. But the second thing I want to talk about, so leave a comment below. Let me know what you're doing with that. I have to unwrap my crinkled paper here. So I had a brain fart while I want to talk to you again. All the dogs are going off over there. Okay, Aang's example. Now, Aang, since it's coming so grand time, a lot of her, like cousins and family and aunts are coming up for So Grand, getting ready for So Grand. And this happened a couple days ago to her, and it didn't really happen to her, but she was listening to, I mean, they're related somehow. It's like it's a cousin or something like that. I think it's a cousin. But the cousin was talking about how she always helps her other cousin or sister or something like that. Always helps them. Like I'll always help them, like money wise, give them money. And she told Aang this great big long story, like when her cousin was pregnant, that's when she broke up with her boyfriend. So the boyfriend didn't help her at all through the pregnancy, and she, you know, took her to the hospital, paid for the hospital, paid for everything. And now when her cousin has a really good job and she needs help, of course she's going to her cousin, but the cousin she's helped for a long time doesn't help her. So this kind of goes directly into like giving and receiving. And when Aang was telling me that, she was telling me that when I was like crazy sleepy. But I thought it was something really excellent to share, because for one, we all do it, okay? And we all fall in the trap of this. The second thing is, you do see this a lot in little bit more kind of lower income regions or lower income areas, like a Thai village and stuff like that. Is what we get trapped with. Basically what was going on is that if I'm helping you and I'm helping you financially, or I'm helping you with my time, or it's a combination, okay, and I'm giving, what ends up happening is I end up controlling it. So when I'm in a situation that I need help, what happens? I immediately think of the person that I helped the most, and I think, well, he's going to help me because I helped him so flipping much. So that's the first person I call. Then he doesn't even have to think about it. He says no, and then he hangs up the phone. You know what I mean? Then I'm all frustrated and mad because let me get this notification off there. It's bothering me. Let me get this notification off there. It's bothering me. Once I do get one comes right back. So this is what we do. We control where the giving is coming from. Like if you help somebody else, you automatically think, well, when I need help, they're going to help me. Or you expect it. You expect that, okay, if I help them a lot, they're going to help me. Okay, bottom line. I mean, we've all done this, okay? And this is what her friend was doing and confiding in Aang and stuff like that. She was like really frustrated about it. And it kind of let me kind of think about it here for a second. But this is really how giving and receiving works. Giving and receiving is actually a twofold law. And I mean, sorry, I feel like my brain scattered because people's coming over a lot, so I can kind of hear them like walking around. So I'm kind of like, well, who's here? Oh, it's a dad outside. Or dad's outside cleaning. But anyway, giving and receiving is a twofold law. Okay, it's not a one-sided law, and this is where we kind of get messed up with giving and receiving. Some of us can be excellent givers, but we're horrible receivers. Some of us can be excellent receivers, but horrible givers. One, you have to understand this. It's twofold. It's 50-50. If as much as you give, as much as you receive. It's a twofold law. But how it works is when you understand the laws in the universe, when you give, this is what you have to tell yourself. When you give, if you give out good has to come back to you 100%. But this is how it works. You can't control where it's coming from. And this is where people get pretty much fucked up. Sorry for my language, but it's just true. Is when you're helping somebody else, really deep down, there's an expectation in you thinking that, well, when I need help, they're going to help me because I help them. So you're controlling where it's coming from. And then when they don't help you, this is exactly what you do. When they don't help you, you say, well, this giving and receiving thing don't work. Or you might not say that. You might say, well, you know what? I'm going to stop helping people. I'm not going to help my friends. I'm not going to help my family. I'm not going to help my acquaintances. I'm going to stop helping people because they never help me when I need help. See, you're thinking the wrong way. And this is the natural source. This is like when you live life by your five senses, see, hear, smell, taste, test. You live life only through your 3D, but you have to understand the bigger picture. And I told you exactly how it worked. I'm going to tell you again. Okay, you can't control the outcome. If you give good, good has to come back to you 100%, but it can come to you 100 different ways. It might not come to you if I give Becky over here $100 every month for 6 months and help her out, then all of a sudden I need help. Well, I'm expecting Becky to help me out. Now, maybe you might say, well, that's the best. That's what she should really do, Chad. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's what she should really do, but that's not reality. Okay. Bottom line, if people don't want to help you, they don't want to help you, and it doesn't matter how much you help them. Bottom line. But what I gotta do is, if I'm helping Becky, I'm helping Becky. I'm not attached to anything. I'm helping Becky because I want to help Becky. I don't expect anything in return. I don't even expect that when I need help or when I need a favor, I don't sit there and think, well, Becky's going to help me because I helped her so much. I mean, that means you have deep down, you're not really giving from a place of a place of just pure giving. What I mean by that, there's like there's an attachment to it. There's a that's not the word I really want. Not an attachment word. There's a prerequisite to it. You know what I mean? Well, if I give to you and I help you, deep down I'm thinking to myself, well, you got to help me now. There's an expectation there. Okay, that's not really giving. Giving is just like, I'm helping you and I don't expect anything in return. Bottom line, because I know that if I put out constantly good has to come back to me, but it can come to me in different ways and different angles. It can come to me 100 different ways. Bottom line, that's what we have to understand. Okay, but what we do, we give it one direction, one angle, one area to come, and when we're controlling that angle, we're attached to that angle, and when that angle don't come in that one direction, well, this stuff don't work. I'm gonna stop helping people, and that's what we do. Okay. And we end up doing the same thing with manifesting. We end up controlling the how. We end up trying to figure out the direction that's coming. And once we don't see it in that direction, well, manifesting won't work. This is just humbo, mumbo, jumbo stuff. And, it don't work. It just, people at work where they just get lucky. It has nothing to do with spirituality or higher consciousness or higher intuition or higher intellect. You make excuses for it but it's all stemming from you controlling the outcome, bottom line. And that's what I really want to share with you is that was a kind of Ang's example. And you see it a lot. I mean, we all do it. We all fall into it, but you really see it a lot, like in lower income communities. And it really leads to when you really and I know I'm kind of hitting this hard, but this is one area that can really stop you from manifesting. It really holds you back a little bit because once somebody don't help you, you internally tell yourself, I'm not going to help people. This stuff don't work. And remember, everything responds to the law of belief. What you believe to be true is always going to be shown to you. So if you think it doesn't work, it don't work. Okay. If you start harboring resentment, well, that's going to be shown to you. That's what I mean. This all kind of this all kind of rolls out the junk inside us if we're not careful. So, anyways, one more thing I kind of want to share with that, but I keep on forgetting. uh, because I know there was the whole, oh, I know what it was, because with Thai culture is, one, you have to understand when you go inside these villages, it's very low income. You know, a lot of people are poverty. So you're gonna have that poverty consciousness in there. Then with Thai culture, like if we, her Ang's cousin came up a few days ago, so she invited us over for drinks, but she want to celebrate coming. And with Thai culture, it kind of like, if you come over, and I'll give you an example. If you come over and I buy all the drinks, and then after we drink it, it's the same concept. Listen to this. Like after you drink it, then I expect you to buy the drinks now. I expect you to go and buy the drinks. And, you know, if you don't go buy the drinks, then it's kind of that same thing. Well, I'm giving to you, but I expect you to give back. It's that, you know, like lots of times with, and it's not just Thai, it's the consciousness around it. You know, I don't want you to think I'm picking on Thai. We all do this, but you know, this is something I seen this week, and I seen through Ang with her example, but she was talking about this too, where, you know, if you come over for drinks and they treat you for drinks, then you finish all the drinks, then they expect you to buy the drinks. So there's an expectation to giving. You know, that's probably the best way to explain it, is there's always an expectation of giving. You know, if I help you and give to you, well, I expect you to help me and give to me. You know, and when that doesn't happen, there's like a whole bunch of resentment there. No, this this stuff don't work. Giving and receiving don't work, because you're controlling, again, you're controlling exactly where it's coming from, rather than just giving from the heart, giving with no attachments to it, and giving with no expectation. There's no expectation there. I'm just giving because I want to give. I'm just helping you because I want to help you. There's no expectation of you having to give it back to me. I mean, that's the place where you have to come from. That's the place you have to give from. But again, when you're surrounded by, again, you see it, and I hate to say this over and over and over, you do see it more in lower income communities. You know, if that offends you, it offends you, but it's just true. You know, I mean, they teach this stuff in college and classes and stuff like that. I mean, even if you're a teacher, you know what I'm talking about. You probably took a course, you probably took a psychology course dealing with the different like poverty, middle class, wealthy, because you're gonna have kids, all three classes in your class. You know, people coming from different cultures, different backgrounds, different just money backgrounds. You know, just, you know, bottom line. But I know I'm rambling right now, so I apologize. But that's something we can't give with in that expectation coming back. We do expect it to come back, so don't confuse me. How I expect it to come back is following the laws of the universe. When I give, it has to come back to me. It has to come back to me. But I don't control the how. I just understand if I give, there's no attachment there, there's no expectation there, and it will come back to me 100 different ways. Bottom line. Okay. But here we kind of experienced this week where it was like, if they bought, and I'm saying we're doing this in a group of people. It's not just me drinking it all. You know what I mean? You know, like they're buying drinks and everybody for a group of people. Then once everything's gone, it's that expectation, or you're going to replenish everything. You know what I mean? It's directly that expectation. Even Ang will tell me, you know, privately or before we go. Sometimes she'll tell me before we go over to their place. Well, this is how it's going to be, Chad. Like, you know, they're going to treat us for drinks, but then after we drink after everybody finishes all the drinks, they're going to expect you to buy the drinks again. Okay, just, you know, she'll tell me just to get mentally prepared, I guess. But again, it kind of just relates to that, you know, and that's maybe something, a good thing we should do anyway. Uh, but but it's kind of violating this law of giving, and receiving, because we should give with no attachments. We should give with no expectation. This is what flubs people up. It's because when you're really giving out of some sort of attachment. You're really giving secretly on some type of expectation to it. And some of us, if you're a guy, you can be a woman too. Some of us struggle with this, like a nice guy syndrome in relationships, where you're kind of going with the flow, doing everything the other person wants you to do, because secretly you're kind of giving, but there's an expectation, a hidden expectation behind it. And now, when it's hidden like that, we can call it manipulation. There's other things we can call this, but you have to be very careful, and you really want to digest what the secret your secret thoughts, what you're secretly thinking. And because that's what it really stems down to when you start manifesting. That's really what it stems down to when you start living life on your terms. Okay. What you see in your outside world is just your inner beliefs, your inner thoughts, your secret thoughts, secret things you think all day long, baby. That's what's coming to you. But anyway, friends, just want to share those few things. I kind of felt like I rambled a little bit. Maybe it sounded like that. I don't know. But usually I'll flip back, listen to it. I don't do great editing. Remember, the Sunday Coffee Talks, it's really a one take wonder. It's just a chance to kind of sit down and chat, go over how my week has gone, anything that popped up during the week. Then plus we'll start shifting into the Super Think Spotlight with the Sunday Coffee Talks. So that should be building up some momentum here soon. But other than that, peace out, blessings to you. Have a great week. And I know you're going to have a great week. And coming into this week, remember, you live life on your terms, baby. You live life unapologetically on your terms. You live life authentically to you. Okay, you have frame, you have standards, you have boundaries. And if someone crosses your standards, you're fine with enforcing that standard and boundary, and it doesn't bother you. Bottom line. But other than that, peace out, blessings to you, and I'll see you next Sunday.